Nigeria is rather reactive rather than very preventive, like the case study of Lokoja flood, where dredging is supposed to have been done.
Even with the warning of NIMET, the respective state government did not take any proactive measure.
All the legislation based on disaster management is not being carried out.
There is, however, advocacy for relevant government agencies to do more by enlightening rural dwellers towards preventing natural disasters.
I want to appreciate in particular the Director General of the Nigeria Meteorological Agency, who has been very consistent in giving us that early warning update in 3 days. In particular, he personally sent those warnings to me, and then we make very good use of it to ensure that nothing really happens with the communities and residents of the FCT.
Doing our best and then also educating them against all this unnecessary fire outbreak. You see, all the fire safety tips, they should adhere to it strictly.
On the occasion of the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction, emphasis on awareness and sensitization on rapid response as a mitigating factor against disaster. Deborah Gazaj-Micah, NTA News.
Let's go on a quick break. We shall be back with more stories after the break. Please stay with us.
The immediate cause of the latest queues in Abuja remains unknown.
Conceived with the intent to ease the flow of traffic in the nation's capital.
Whichever way it turns out, either to consolidate on the existing mandate or institute a new dispensation.
Located within the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC.
How much do people know about ADR?
Are charting a path to having more youth participate in governance, in addition to building young entrepreneurs.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are calling on the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, look into the situation.
You have to strike a balance to have a future that you don't have to regret.
Like experts say, what kills really is fear.
In Abuja,
Onoziaku,
NTA News.
Welcome back. To round off the activity for this year's World Sight Day, the FCT Health Secretariat and Sight Savers International carried out a sensitization walk. The exercise is to complement the eye screening at major motor parks around the FCT.
It is in commemoration of the World Sight Day that these optometrists took to the street to sensitize FCT residents of the importance of taking care of their eyes. Drivers of the National Union of Road Transport Workers were beneficiaries at the Nyanya and Otako motor parks as they get screened. Cordelia Obianyan, FCT Coordinator, Eye Healthcare, says this initiative is to see how to save the sight of many residents, especially drivers, being that most visual impairment is avoidable.
The teachers in secondary school, some of them, they have short-sightedness and long-sightedness. We screen them, those of them that has myopia, we give them treatment.
The partners took its sensitization campaign as well as screening exercise to the National Assembly with a press conference, as the theme for this year's World Sight Day is tagged Love Your Eyes. In Abuja, Aisha Oba Ali, NTA News.
As part of intervention towards improving sight condition of drivers in the FCT, the Federal Ministry of Health Secretariat and other partners have conducted eye screening in Abuja ahead of the World Sight Day. Hakimat Aliu brings us details.
About 2.2 billion people globally have distance visual impairment, which experts believe could be avoided. The target is to enhance the refraction errors by 30% by 2030. This informed the free eye screening exercise for drivers.
Whenever your eyes are being used, the eyes are being pressured, whether it's for driving, whether it's for working on the system, whether it's for being in the class. So you need to know how to manage your eyes. It's important for us to have the eyes checked once every 2 years for people who are less than 40, and once every year for those who are above the age of 40.
People that have cataract that will get in this place, we have free cataract surgeries at Buhari General Hospital. Okay, and also at the screening point for the drivers, we are giving them free glasses. Okay, we're giving free eye drops that will take care of itching, discharge, and all that.
Hamidu Mohammed, who has been driving for 25 years, is among the beneficiaries of the intervention.
They check our eye, give me paper, I can read, I cannot read well. But now, as they give me this thing, I can read well. Yes.
I am really happy and privileged to be part of this, and I want to urge all drivers to partake in this exercise. It is very good for their sight. They are always on the road. There are dust, rain, and they really need to get tested to know much about their vision.
The exercise, which is being replicated nationwide, is to mark the World Sight Day, celebrated every second Thursday in the month of October. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
Still on health, practicing medicine is incomplete in Nigeria without the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, MDCN, endorsing you. The induction of this set of foreign-trained doctors and dental graduates is part of the mandate of MDCN, which brings the inductees one step closer to assessing their professional license. The report.
Duty and my patient.
That is the induction oath of the new doctors as they are being charged to ensure that the health and well-being of their patients are paramount. While other undergraduates spend 4 to 5 years in the university, these ones who choose to practice medicine spend 6 years and even more, depending whether they are studying abroad or here in Nigeria. For these foreign-trained medical doctors, getting to this stage is only for the lucky ones who passed the assessment examinations set by the council. It was rough and tough, but Muzammil Lawal and Zoleha Sul Abdussalam scaled through and are among the lucky 178 inductees.
Very excited, finally, after a long wait and a lot of stress.
It's been a long journey, 6 years outside, coping with all the challenges there.
I feel very happy and as well very humble to be inducted into this noble profession.
Speakers at the event emphasized the need for the council to continually ensure that these doctors uphold the values and ethics of the profession, as ingesting these doctors into the system will reduce the cry for the death of medical doctors in the country.
To the inductees, today marks the beginning of your career in this noble profession. In order to succeed, you need to be humble and to be dedicated to the service of your patients.
In total, 178 doctors and 6 dentists were inducted. Meanwhile, recommendations centered on parents to always seek advice from the council and the National University Commission on which medical schools abroad are of satisfactory standard before enrolling their children. In Abuja, Aisha.
It's time to join Serafina Okonomekwe for business news.
International Monetary Fund, IMF, downgrades Nigeria's projection growth to 2.3% due to tighter financial and monetary conditions, just as the World Bank and the African Development Bank sanctions Nigeria over corruption. Hello, many thanks for joining me on Business News. The International Monetary Fund has lowered Nigeria's 2022 economic growth projection to 3.2%. This is a 0.2 percentage points lower than the 3.4% projected in its July 2022 report. The Washington-based institution disclosed this on its World Economic Outlook for October 2022, titled Countering the Cost of Living Crisis. The report also downgraded economic growth projection for sub-Saharan Africa from 3.8% to 3.6%. The financial institution said global growth was projected to slow from an estimated 6.1% in 2021 to 3.6% in 2022 and 2023. In another development, the World Bank has sanctioned 7 Nigerian firms and individuals over corruption charges At the fiscal year 2022, which covered July 1, 2021 to July 30, 2022, in the Sanctions System Annual Report, out of the 4 companies, 2 were sanctioned by the African Development Bank. The 2 companies blacklisted by the World Bank were M Consultants Limited for 2 years and 2 months and Softech IT Solutions and Services for 4 years and 2 months. The Nigerian Debt Management Office, DMO, has offered 3 federal government bonds valued at 225 billion for subscription. The bonds are offered at 1,000 naira per unit, subject to a minimum subscription of 50 million naira. They are qualified as assets for liquidity ratio circulation for banks, therefore listed on NGX Limited. The Ports and Terminal Multipurpose Limited Command of the Nigerian Customs Service says it has raked in a total of 182 billion as revenue between January and September 2022. The figure compared to the same period in 2021, which was 165 billion, increased with 17.3 billion, representing 10% increase. The highest increment was recorded in July with 29.9%, followed by May with 28% increase in revenue collection. And to the drivers of the economy, Bambara nut pudi, popularly called okpa, is a meal consumed mostly in eastern Nigeria. The delicacy is common in states of Enugu and Ebonyi, and it is classified as a traditional Nigerian delicacy due to its uniqueness. In this special report, Osarieme Anenehi, who observed that the delicacy is not only exclusive meal to the Igbos, ran into Victoria Kabiru, who sells
pudding, has a lot of amazing health benefits which are good for the body and also helps the body to function well. It is a business mostly owned by women. Victoria Kabir, who specializes in the business, says she engaged in the business in a bid to support her husband. She also states that a regular income of 3,000 naira is made from the business weekly.
Making 30,000 naira. Now everything have cost. Understand? Everything have cost now. If it is before, the money is reached to put everything